violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. But I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's a Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video.
Well, yes, in fact, a detective revealed today that teammate Jaden Bradley actually was with Darius Miles and his friend Michael Davis when they first approached victim Jamea Harris's car. But it's who investigators say brought the murder weapon to the scene that created the biggest shockwaves of the day. During the 5 weeks since losing her daughter Jamea Harris, DeCarla Hurd's world has turned upside down.
Wow. So, guys, remember, we basically broke down the whole Darius Miles situation, and obviously this brother played for the University of Alabama. He was involved in the shooting of a girl, and it's a very sad story. Apparently he got dubbed. He tried to ask her out, right, and she pretty much rejected him, and because she had a boyfriend with her who was in the car. And then he basically handed a weapon to some guy that he was with, some street dude. I don't know his name exactly, but he handed the weapon to this guy. And this guy, he did the work, man. He put in work, okay? He shot this woman. He deleted her. And this woman had a child. It's a very sad story. But there was another basketball player involved in the whole situation. And that's what we're going to learn, who pretty much was able to skirt accountability and ended up not being able to be charged. So let's listen up.
I haven't stopped being angry. I haven't stopped long enough to grieve because I'm so angry. She has a 5-year-old son that's still at home waiting on his mom to come home. She's not gonna come home.
Today she sat in a courtroom listening to testimony about what led to her daughter's death. Former Bama basketball player Darius Miles and friend Michael Davis are accused of killing.
There he is, Michael Davis, okay? So these two pretty much going down. Brandon Miller, the other University of Alabama basketball player who was involved in this case, is not going to be charged.
Killing her near the Strip on January 15th. Today, investigator Brandon Culpepper revealed Miles texted teammate Brandon Miller to bring Miles's gun to the scene after a heated exchange with Harris and her boyfriend.
Wow. So, like I said, the exchange between the young lady, Harris, and her boyfriend led to the shooting, and they might have been aiming for him, ended up deleting her. Brandon Miller they texted Brandon Miller to bring the firearm down, maybe without context. He did this unknowingly, and that's where we ended up.
He made Brandon Miller to bring Miles's gun to the scene after a heated exchange with Harris and her boyfriend. Culpepper claimed Davis later walked up to the SUV and said, "I told you I was going to get you." Then shots rang out.
Wow.
Davis's attorney claimed he fired the gun second and in self-defense. There was also testimony that Miles saw Harris's boyfriend with a gun first. But prosecutors argued the former Bama player and his friend were responsible for claiming Harris's life.
My daughter was ambushed, is what happened. It was a premeditated attack on her.
Leaving behind a little boy with plenty of haunting questions.
Wow.
He asked me what happened and where are the bad guys. And he needs to know that the bad guys are going to jail and they'll be there for a long time.
Absolutely, for the rest of their lives. All right. Brandon Miller was able to skirt accountability, but Darius Miles and Michael Davis will not. And hopefully, they are prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law for this young lady's murder. Okay, a lot of you guys are simps at heart. I mean, what makes you want to delete this woman's boyfriend because you got rejected? Right? These dudes, man, when they're at that point, they think that they are above the world. They think they're on top of the world, and they think that nothing can happen to them, or they can't be held accountable for their actions, and that could be further from the truth.
Heard said she would not accept a plea deal in her daughter's death. Well, actually, in the last 90 minutes, Judge Joanne Janik actually ruled that there was enough evidence to send both of these capital murder cases to the grand jury. She also denied bond for both of the defendants, meaning they will remain behind bars here until their trial. Live in Tuscaloosa, John Papke, WBTM.
A surprise in a Tuscaloosa courtroom today in that case against a former Alabama basketball player, Darius Miles, who's been charged with capital murder.
So we've learned Alabama star basketball player Brandon Miller is somehow connected to this case. Miller has not been charged with a crime. Miles and co-defendant Michael Davis both appearing in a court for a preliminary hearing today. And that's where those new revelations came out. Brian Henry joining us from Tuscaloosa County Jail, where that hearing was held this morning. So Brian, explain how Miller is now connected to the case.
Well, Sarah Morgan, for the first time today, we learned that this murder investigation involved current UA basketball player Brandon Miller, although, and we want to be very clear about this, although Miller does not face any criminal charges. Investigators testified Miller brought a gun that belonged to Darius Miles to the crime scene. Cameras were not allowed inside, but the preliminary hearing lasted almost 3 hours with 5 witnesses. One major development, evidence produced in court and put on a TV monitor, showed former UA basketball player Darius Miles texted current player Brandon Miller to bring him his gun to Gray Street and University Boulevard, the very scene where the shooting happened in mid-January. Tuscaloosa Police homicide investigator Brandon Culpepper testified that Darius Miles told Michael Len Davis that the heat is in the hat, signifying the gun was present.
Wow. Man. The heat is in hand. Golly, bro. Yeah, this was definitely premeditated. Insane.
Court documents also indicated Miles provided the very same weapon to Michael Len Davis, who investigators say shot in the Jeep 23-year-old Jamea Harris was riding in. Culpepper added surveillance video from the nearby Publix showed Davis standing on the driver's side of the Jeep and firing several rounds. Harris died from a gunshot wound to the left side of the face, according to testimony presented at court.
They don't deserve to be out on the street.
Meantime, Jamea Harris's mom talked with reporters after the hearing.
My daughter was ambushed, is what happened. It was a premeditated attack on her. That's what I saw.
As for Brandon Miller, prosecutor Paula Whitley said afterwards there was nothing in the law they could charge him with. However, plenty of evidence, according to Whitley, against Darius Miles and Michael Len Davis.
So Brandon Miller was not charged, okay? And, I mean, he just brought the hammer to them. So, I mean, could he be an accomplice? Possibly. Did he have foreknowledge of what they were going to do? Probably not, but bringing a gun to any scene, I'm not going to do it. I'm like, if you want this strap, you're going to have to bring it yourself. Unless I know for a fact it's a self-defense situation. But if somebody hit me up, yo, bring my gun to this location, look, man, hey, you're going to have to do your own dirty work, bruh. That ain't for me.
Charged with capital murder because the victim was sitting in a vehicle when she was senselessly killed.
Now, in that same court hearing today, the judge has yet to rule whether this case will move forward. And again, no ruling yet whether she'll grant both men an opportunity to make bond. Now, one other thing, also a latest addition to the story, again, that happened this morning. Darius Miles' attorney, Mary Turner, declined an interview immediately after the hearing because she said that she first wanted to see what the rulings would be. In Tuscaloosa, Brian Henry, WBRC, Fox 6 News, on your side.
And new on the 4, Alabama basketball coach Nate Oates reacting to these developments, saying he was aware of Brandon Miller's involvement of the case, but says the freshman is not in any trouble.
We knew about that. I mean, you know, you can't control everything anybody does outside.
So you can't control everything everybody does? I mean, that's a crazy take.
The practice, nobody knew that was going to happen. College kids are out. Brandon hasn't been in any type of trouble, nor is he in any type of trouble on this case. Like, we're wrong. spot at the wrong time.
Yo, what's good, BGZM News 17 family? I'm at the corner of Jesse Jackson and Marcus Garvey, and I got some bad news for you. As you can see, I lost my job. I'm out here living in cardboard boxes outside of boarded up vacant homes. YouTube said I'm done getting money out here in these streets. They even took my funky ass suit. So anything right now would help. So go ahead and hit that Cash App, hit that PayPal, hit that GoFundMe. Hell, cop the merch. Or if you want to make the long-term commitment to the Jinquavius Jackson Fund, join the Patreon so that I can continue to put out top-notch content each and every day. Also, check out the Rumble, where there is absolutely no censorship. Link in the description box below.
Hey, yo, ain't that nigga Jinquavius? Yo, I recognize.
No, that's not me no more.
Hey, yo, run your pop.
Y'all get me with this shit.
Do the opposite of Antonio Brown and take
What
all your
more do you want from me?
So we do have the full statement on what the coach said about Brandon Miller's involvement in this murder. So let's listen up.
There is a situation. Just how comfortable were you with his proximity to that, and also if there's any NBA scouts who might be inquiring, what would you say to them about that?
Yeah, I mean, we've known the situation since we've been fully cooperating with law enforcement the entire time. I mean, the whole situation's sad. I mean, you just think of it, team closed practice with a prayer for the situation today. Again, knowing that we had this trial today, I mean, you think of Jamea and her family and Kane, really think about her son Kane that was left behind. So it's sad. We knew about that. I mean, can't control everything anybody does. Outside of practice, nobody knew that was going to happen. College kids are out. Brandon hasn't been in any.
So he's saying, just handing the hammer off to Darius Miles, and Michael Davis is just college kids being college kids. You can't control everything they gonna do, especially handing the hammer over and being involved in a murder of a woman, for that matter. So it is what it is. Can't control everything that everybody does. You can't control, super gremlins being super gremlins, handing the hammer to the homie. That's just what they do, right? That's crazy.
Type of trouble, or any type of trouble on this case, like the wrong spot at the wrong time. So we'll address it when I'm sure NBA scouts will ask. They do their homework, but yeah, I think the article that it came out, it also stated Brandon's been interviewed. He's, they're comfortable with everything that happened there.
Okay, so guys, Brandon Miller, he actually did play in the game against South Carolina yesterday, and he's pretty much not having any issues, no mental lapses on the court. He actually scored 41 points and even made the game-winning shot to give Alabama the go-ahead bucket in overtime to seal the game in the last second. So maybe he's using this situation to fuel him, but I mean, he looks unfazed, unbothered, almost sociopathically unbothered, if you will. The South Carolina fans were booing him, saying lock him up, chanting lock him up, and he almost fed off of that energy to push him over the ledge to have I think this is his career high 41-point game. I mean, it's pretty insane. He scored over 50% of the points for Alabama's basketball team, so they obviously need him real bad. Okay, and that's probably why they didn't discipline him for handing the ratchet over to Darius Miles. So What do you guys think about this? I mean, him handing the ratchet is very suspect, but maybe, you know, according to the law, he couldn't have known what they were going to do. He didn't have foreknowledge of what they were going to do. So you guys be the judge. I don't know. To me, it very much sounds like he's a super athletic gremlin on demon time.
Right on the wing, guarded by Burnett. Back to Michi. Michi on the drive, gets it to go. Miller guarded by Gigi, two of the most highly touted freshmen in the country this year. Miller with three. Miller to the rim. Miller with the left hand.
Woo! Hard crossover.
He's good, y'all.
Long stride, balance, extension, doesn't charge, chin on the rim. Finish.
I mean, he's very talented and he's very long. Look how long he is. Very talented, very long, looking like probably 6'4", 6'5". He got the block out, seal off in the paint, sealed off the defender, makes a go-ahead basket.
You're watching a guy that's just
I mean, this guy's he's gonna be a problem in the NBA.
This will be good if it goes.
And that's the game.
Rim and rattles off. Michi Johnson almost capped off a memorable night with what would have been a memorable shot in Gamecock history.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.